Plenty of action in Italy today. AC Milan winning, Inter Milan winning, Juventus winning as well, moving them up to third in the table. Stewart Robson joins us. Let's go chronologically, shall we? Because I woke up with you on ESPN Plus calling the AC Milan game. And what's interesting about Milan this season, Robbo, is that when it comes to the matches they should win, they do. And they did it, of course, again today after that knockout in the cup midweek.
Well, they had that poor performance against Atalanta. They had the defeat against Inter in midweek, so you thought they'd be under a bit of pressure today. But I thought they played well enough again. Kessie was running midfield. Romagnoli coming back into the side, organised the defence. Tomori coming from Chelsea played quite well on loan. And really, they deserved to win. There was only the last 10 minutes where they were under a little bit of pressure. But for most of the game, they dominated. They dominated possession. Ibrahimovic led the line well. The youngsters playing in behind him. Rebic obviously scored from the rebound from the penalty, but they were the better team. They dominated possession and they created more chances. And when they did have to make saves, Donnarumma was there to make them.
The point that you're making during the commentary, Rob, I thought was interesting, is that hold-up play from Zlatan is key.
Absolutely, because sometimes he leads the line and tries to make runs in behind. We've seen him do that. But on this occasion, he often came short. And it was other players that run beyond him. They had Leao, who could run beyond him. They had Rebic, who could run beyond him down the other side. Salamakas down the right-hand side, who didn't really perform particularly well. But those three players were making runs beyond him. And Ibrahimovic was holding up the play. And then when he needs to, when the crosses come into the box, he's always a threat. He's going to win balls in the air. And he's still got strength. He's still got a little bit of pace to hold off challenges. And I thought he led the line well again.
Meanwhile, as I mentioned, Juventus up to third after a win for them. What was really interesting, I thought, about this game, Robbo, is that in the first half, just flashes of brilliance from Juve. The opening goal, I thought, was a superb team goal. The second half, they just seemed to lose all of their rhythm.
Exactly what I was going to say. In the first half, I thought, at last, the pennies dropped for Pirlo and the players. We've got to play at a high tempo. We've got to pass it forward. Morata and Ronaldo made run after run after run in behind. Chiesa was coming off the left-hand side. The midfield players were making forwards. And the midfield players, Bentancur played as well as I've seen him play, hitting those big diagonals out to the left-hand side. You saw Arthur playing as well as I've seen him play for Juventus. He was getting on the board, he was making things happen, and they were passing it forward. And they looked a top-class side. I thought, this is the Juventus that's going to go on and win the league. And in the second half, they did what they've been doing all season, started to pass backwards, started to take too many touches on the ball, not looking forward enough. Ronaldo didn't make any more forward runs. Morata started coming back towards the ball, and they then started to cause themselves problems and allowed Sampdoria back into the game. Yes, they got the second through Ramsey, but the first half, if they play like that, they will win Serie A. If they play like they did in the second half, they won't.
So the obvious question is, how do you make sure they play like first half Juventus and not second half Juve?
Well, that's the question. Who's given them the instructions? Is it Pirlo that's given them instructions? Play this way. I want you to play fast, flowing football. I want you to get it forward. I want you to make runs in behind. Or is it the players doing that in the first half, playing with a high tempo, and then retreating back into their shell and trying to play tippy-tappy football and not playing forward enough? Who's dictating what goes on, the players or Pirlo?
It's fun to see Chiesa grow, isn't it? Almost match by match now.
Yeah, it's a good run for the goal. I mean, good link-up play between the front two. Chiesa coming off the left-hand side. He can play on the right-hand side. He's got that little bit of pace to run with the ball. He's got a bit of trickery as well. He can go past people. He's still got to find that final pass. If he can find the final cross, the final pass, he's going to be an outstanding player. He's still got a bit to do at the moment.
Meanwhile, the most convincing of wins went to Inter, beating Benevento by 4-0. The scoreline maybe flatters Inter a bit. They're always in control of this one, Robbo, but maybe not a 4-0 control.
No, they didn't have to play at a particularly high tempo. I was disappointed in their display up until the last 15, 20 minutes. I was disappointed in the front. So I know Lukaku scored 2 goals and Martinez got his goal as well. But they're key to everything that Inter do because they love to get the ball into them. And last season, at the beginning of this season, when they're playing really well, they link with each other. That hasn't been the case. I was disappointed with Lukaku. I thought his work rate, his ability to hold it up was back to what it was at Manchester United. He needs to get back on form if they're going to win the league, and he also needs Martinez to come up with the goods as well. I was impressed with Perisic. He did quite well at left wing back. That's a decision that Antonio Conte's got to make at times. Ashley Young or Perisic down that left-hand side. And Hakimi, once again, final pass, final ball. For all his good work, hasn't been good enough.
Lukaku got 2 goals, Robbo. A bit harsh.
Yes, as I was saying, he scored 2 goals late on. The first one, the goalkeeper's mistake, passed it straight to Martinez and it fell to Lukaku. And the other one, he was free in the penalty area with a pass from Sanchez. But his general play up until that point wasn't good enough. And I'm talking about not for this game, I'm talking about for winning Serie A. For Antonio Conte to lift the title with this Inter side, they need Lukaku and Martinez at their best as a combination.
Christian Eriksen started as well, Robbo. His reward for that free kick.
Yeah, he played as the holding midfield player instead of Brozovic. He was good actually with the ball. He kept on switching the play. He made good decisions. Did as well as Brozovic would do. He also delivered some set plays, some excellent set plays. There's certainly, again, Antonio Conte will have a decision to make. I think Brozovic will come back into the side, but certainly Eriksen's given him food for thought because he did play that role really well against a weak side, it has to be said, because if you're pressurised defensively, who's going to be better, Brozovic or Eriksen? I'm not quite sure.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.